Well, I haven't coached. I haven't been a head coach of a national team. I've been around the Australian team as assistant coach through the 2019 World Cup. But no, I think it's a lot more difficult being a coach of a franchise team because of the different nationalities you have involved, and a few Australian coaches, a couple of Australian players, a couple of South African players. You can have someone from. We've had New Zealanders, we've had Nepalese part of our squad over the journey. So, and the hardest part of coaching with a franchise, obviously, is you only get the players together a few days before your first game every season, and when you're trying to create culture around a team, when you haven't got a lot of time with the players, it's really hard to do that. So, and it's also a great challenge when you've got the players here, because it's actually really hard to make big skill changes in such a short period of time. You don't want to interfere too much with the players and try and tinker and change things too much, because from experience, if you do that, if the player doesn't really understand exactly what you're trying to fix, they can quite often forget what they had in the first place, and then you end up with a mess. So, I make it really clear to the players when I'm here at the IPL with the Delhi Capitals that unless something is really wrong and something technically is glaringly wrong, then I won't say much at all. But if I can notice some big areas that I can make an impact, obviously I'll try and change it. But that limited time with the guys also presents a great challenge. It's a great challenge as a coach, bringing the players together, creating culture, and then hopefully being good enough to win enough games to qualify for the finals every year. Oh, look, it probably already has. I think the T20 game probably already has had an impact on the Test game, certainly the way that the game's played. I mean, look at the way that England are trying to play now. When I say trying to play, they haven't got it exactly right just yet, but I think a lot of the guys that they're now picking for Test cricket have come through playing a lot of T20 cricket or 50-over cricket. So that's how that they want to go ahead and play their Test match game. Look, there's still absolutely room for the purest batsmen in Test match cricket, but I think there's going to be less and less of those. I think we've already seen that probably in the last 10 years there's not a lot of classical technique anymore in the modern day batters. If you look at the absolute best now, Joe Root's probably the most classical one. Stephen Smith, what he's done over the years has been a little bit different. Marnus Labuschagne's been a bit different as well with the way that he plays. Virat's obviously classically, technically very good as well, but I think there's a bit of a shift. I'm interested to see. I think there's a bit of talk, maybe even next year, if this impact player remains in the IPL, if it does or not. If it doesn't, will the scores come back down again? I'm interested to see that, because I'm not sure they will so much, because I think it's, yes, that impact player does provide a bit of a cushion for the guys at the top, but I think the guys at the top now are so used to going out and playing a certain way. I mean, imagine trying to tell Jake Fraser-McGurk to play a different way, or tell Travis Head to be a little bit more defensive than what they are. That's just not going to happen. And we saw even yesterday in our game with, Patidar and Will Jacks. As soon as the spinners came on last night, anything that was a bad ball was just disappearing into the stand. There's less and less fear now for batsmen. I think, the modern day equipment is helping. The wickets, as you say, have been the wickets this IPL have been very, very good batting wickets, has to be said, right around the country. So, the fear of hitting shots badly enough now and getting caught on the fence is disappearing quickly. So, I'm interested to see where it goes, but there's no doubt in my mind that T20 cricket and certainly one-day cricket has influenced the way that Test match cricket is being played and also the way that teams are being selected.